I mean, you know, it's good, but I had mixed feelings. What about you? What do you think?
About?
The Wailing Wall.
Oh. Well, there's a lot of energetic significance there.
I mean, what's going on now? I mean, I guess it was unusual for me.
Why, what happened now recently?
Oh, just watching it, you know, the intensity of it.
It's very intense, yeah. It's very tense around there.
Okay, welcome everyone. We are. Does anyone have any questions from last week? Because I didn't. All of you online, I didn't even I think I neglected you. And I'm trying to now locate what I was reading from on my phone last week. And that is maybe impossible right now. Anyway, let's see if I can find it. No, that's not it. Anyway, if you have any questions, ask. Well, some of you weren't here last time.
We were speaking about Sankirtan and Madhurya Ras, and the Radharani is bringing gopis to Krishna.
And the gopis are also bringing, right, others to Krishna.
And then we spoke a little bit about Raganuga Bhakti. But
Yeah, one of the things that, but we started talking about this. I didn't actually want to go that high, because you know there's so many practical problems we face, and then you speak about something very high, and it just like doesn't relate. So I wanted to make it more relevant, so I didn't speak about it. And now we're getting to something that's kind of high. But some of you like those things, I guess. Okay, there's hope that I can find this document. Just give me a second. I was working on developing a website right before I came to the last moment, so I'm a little unprepared. I don't think I'm going to find that. So, anyway, then we'll talk about something else. I'll read from something else. So we've been talking about the stages that one goes through when they become Krishna conscious that leads them to love. And love is a natural attraction. So sometimes the frustration of not being Krishna conscious is, you know, there's a natural attraction lying within you for Krishna, and there's such a strong attraction for things other than Krishna, like ice cream and pizza, right? There's a saying that if you want to understand sincerity, just watch people eat. Because when they eat, they're very focused and very sincere about eating. Have you noticed that? You watch somebody eat. Well, if you haven't noticed, watch somebody eat. It's an act of intense sincerity. And we know from our own experience that there are many things that we are attached to and we get a lot of pleasure from. that aren't directly related to Krishna, and there are many things directly related to Krishna that maybe we're not so attracted to. So that's called the stage of bhajana kriya, where you're just doing it to get better. Where the result, play guitar like Jimi Hendrix, but you're just learning, and yeah, you can hanker for it, but it's a period in which it requires the most patience and the most determination. When you're trying to achieve something and you haven't achieved it yet, and you're not experiencing it that much, it requires the most patience, the most determination. Because the further you are away from love of Godhead, the more you tend to fluctuate in devotional service. So one day you'll be like blissed out with a kirtan, and the next day you've got in an argument with somebody and you can't let it go. In higher stage, that won't happen. So that's the most challenging stage, right? So as you become more Krishna conscious, Prabhupada gave the example that if you put tape on your tongue and you eat something, what will it taste like?
Like tape.
It'll taste like tape. Yeah. So no matter what you eat, it'll taste the same. Right? And he said, conditioned life is like tape on our tongue, and we're chanting Hare Krishna, and there's tape on our tongue. We're not tasting it, but if you take the tape off, then the taste is there. Right? So sometimes we know the taste is there, but we're not tasting it. So there's some kind of frustration. In my realization, the best, one way to describe it is, it's kind of like, you ever had something that's itching, but you have so many clothes on that when you don't feel it? You know when it's cold? Like I have a kurta. Actually, I have 3. 1, 2, 3. Then my chadar, 4. So if I put my chadar on and I scratch, I don't feel it. So when you're in that situation, you take off your chadar, you take off sometimes you just put your hand under your shirt and you scratch. So Krishna consciousness is like the skin, and conditioned life is like the coverings. So you're scratching, but you're not feeling it. And a more advanced devotee comes up to you and say, "Oh Prabhu, isn't japa like the sweetest thing?" And you're like, "No." "What are you talking about? I hate it." And you're looking at them like there's something wrong with them. Or you're just envious, you become envious of them or jealous. Uh-oh. Wow. So these, I would liken the stages of devotional service that we're describing here: bhajana kriya, then anartha nivritti, then nishta, ruchi, asakti, bhava, and prema. So like taking off one sweater after another. So you don't have too many sweaters, you start to feel it. And that is called ruchi. That's when you get a little relief at the stage of ruchi. So ruchi means taste. And so taste means that there's enough sweaters of false ego and past conditioning and material desire that have come off, that now you can start tasting Krishna consciousness. So we have this problem that we all have to deal with. Is if you're trying to taste material life and you're trying to taste Krishna consciousness, what happens? You've got to go one way or the other. It's hard to do both, because one tends to neutralize the other. Have you noticed that? So when you're caught in the middle, it's often said to be maybe the most frustrating position in the material world. Considering non-devotees and devotees, even more frustrating